Hey, this is Lucas and welcome back to the channel. Today's theme is going to be time and how you are running out of it to load up and position yourself into the next financial system. And some of the news stories that we're going to show you today is going to reinforce that. So let's get into it. First story is that Fidelity's director of global macro, it says it's reasonable to view Bitcoin as cheap at these levels. It says on Wednesday, August 17th, Jurian Timmer, director of global macro at Fidelity Investments, shared his thoughts on the Bitcoin price. In March 2021, Timmer published a 12-page research paper on Bitcoin titled Understanding Bitcoin: Does Bitcoin Belong in Asset Allocation Considerations? Timmer started by saying that he intended his paper to serve as a brief, plain English primer, but also to assess in a meaningful way the value proposition of Bitcoin as it relates to asset allocation. And these are his conclusions. Bitcoin has gone mainstream, already considered a legitimate asset class by more and more investors. Bitcoin has both a compelling supply dynamic and demand dynamic. Bitcoin is gaining credibility and as a digital analog of gold, but with greater convexity. Bitcoin will over time take more market share from gold. So for everybody who is waiting for $2,000 a Bitcoin price, it's not going to happen. We are seeing right now that these guys at Fidelity, they're in the game. BlackRock, they're in the game, and now they've turned on the media to tell you how valuable Bitcoin is. It means that they're going to pump this market. So for me, I'm not going to, wait around for a price that's $1,000 or $2,000 cheaper. I'm buying now. I'm not going to wait. Dollar cost average. Greed can affect you both ways. You can wait, or you can try to buy at FOMO tops for greed, or you could sit around and wait for a bottom price, hoping that you're going to get it cheaper. And that's just as greedy as buying the top. And as we're getting into the XRP news, we see that the Digital Pound Foundation put out a tweet and it said, "Congratulations, Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Katz, and Susan Friedman and the entire team at Ripple for being voted by Inc. as one of the fastest growing companies in the U.S. We're proud to have Ripple be a part of the Digital Pound Foundation's journey in advocating for new forms of digital money in the UK." Now, this tweet from Digital Pound Foundation, it wasn't a tweet directed at Dogecoin. It wasn't a tweet directed at SHIB, and it wasn't a tweet directed at Ethereum. You're seeing it now. If you're not in here, and I'm not an investment advisor, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but as far as me, we're looking at the world's largest financial institutions like the Digital Pound Foundation, the IMF, the BIS. We see banks like Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo. They are talking about Ripple. They're not talking about Doge. They're not talking about moving their money with SHIB. They're talking about XRP. XRP will be the foundation for the next financial system. And if you're sitting here saying that 30 cents is too much or 38 cents too much, or you'll wait for 15 cents, that's goofy. I'm not waiting for 15 cents. Like I said, do whatever you want to do, but think about the price. This stuff is on sale. Think about what you're buying at 38 cents. You're buying a piece of the next financial system. And in a tweet by Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unbox, it says that Ripple was proposed back to the Fed when the Fed asked about CBDCs in 2014, 2015, question mark. Global interoperability. Holy crap. Maybe that's why no one talks about it now. So let's take a listen to what this guy says here.
In part because I got into this so early, I proposed back to the Fed and a bunch of researchers there back in like 2014 or 15. Pretty much like people didn't call it that at the time, but like a permission blockchain for central bank digital currencies. They came to a group of researchers and said, if we hypothetically wanted to digitize the dollar, what would that look like? What we said is, look, you can start with a permission blockchain. It can be, pan-jurisdiction, so it's not just for the US dollar, but for a whole bunch of other currencies. So you get that interoperability, right? You get things like we see on Ripple, et cetera.
So what do the guys at the Fed and our government tell us? Oh, well, we're going to look into some CBDCs. We're looking at it. We're going to get on it maybe next year. You can see that they've already been on this problem. They've been, this gentleman just said that he was talking about it with them in 2014, 2015. Our government has been working on this project, this digital dollar project, probably for 20 or 30 years. And who does this guy mention? He mentions Ripple. And what do we know that Ripple is working on? Interoperability. And that's what this guy said. They need a token. They need a crypto to put these CBDCs on that's interoperable with all other blockchains. And that's what Ripple is. That's why there's such a war going on right now between Ripple and Ethereum. The guys at Ethereum know that Ripple's going to be used and they want to slow them down so Ripple can't form these partnerships or start their use case. They're trying to give Ethereum time so they can scale, and then they can come in and work with the financial institutions for all this. And of course, we see Vitalik Buterin come out and talk about XRP again. Before, he called it a shit coin, before, I think it was a year or two ago, or when Ripple got sued. And now he's come out and said XRP has already lost their right to protection when they tried to throw us under the bus as China controlled, in my opinion. So basically what he's saying is, if you go against the narrative that we're trying to set for you for what Ethereum is, then you don't deserve protection as an investor. And we see that, I think it was John Deaton replied to this. He says, you would think that someone who belongs on the Mount Rushmore of crypto would understand that XRP is software code. Vitalik, are you saying that 72,000 XRP holders I represent don't deserve to be protected? These holders have nothing to do with Ripple or Brad Garlinghouse. And then we had David Schwartz come out and say the government should punish projects that disagree with our narrative. Seems pretty on brand for Ethereum. So that's what Joel Katz said. He said, basically, if you don't agree with the narrative, then you deserve no protection from the government. And that seems to be a lot of what we're seeing with everything nowadays. And this next story basically sums up the mood of this video. And what it says is Cosmos, Ripple, and Chronally IO tokens with 100x potential. And this is from the Portugal News. While many in the crypto market focus on short-term gains, savvy investors know that long-term holding is where the real gains are made. That's why some whales in the crypto space are looking to start buying up these three tokens, in particular based on their real-world utility: Cosmos, Atom, Ripple XRP, and Chrono. Ripple XRP looks like an excellent buy for the next decade. Ripple was built to solve a fundamental problem in the world of finance: slow, expensive international transactions. Instead of banks taking up to a week to send money from one corner of the globe to another, with each intermediary taking a slice of the pie, Ripple XRP lets users send money globally with near instant transactions that cost a fraction of a cent. As Ripple Labs develops the blockchain further and more partnerships are announced, big names like MoneyGram, American Express, and Santander are already on the roster. The potential for huge price increases becomes more likely. Currently trading at 38 cents, it's not difficult to imagine XRP trading for $38 a token in a few years. And this article basically sums up the tone and the mood of this video, and it is that of a short amount of time before this stuff starts moving. You'll see in a minute that TA analysts are predicting for XRP to start moving pretty soon. And when it moves, you are out of time for buying it 25, 30, 35 cents. By the time it gets back to $1, $1.40, it is hard to accumulate then. I know I've been accumulating XRP for 5 years, and I love when it's down to 30 cents because I've bought it at $1.40. I've bought it at $1. I've bought it at all these prices, and I love seeing it at 25, 30, 35 cents because it is a steal at this price. And in this next story, in this next bit of media for XRP, we see 3 reasons to watch XRP closely as price performance may surprise you. So we're seeing it. People know what is going to happen soon for XRP. They know that this price has been down. They know it's been held down. They know that there is pressure building for this price to blow up. And this lawsuit is one of the major reasons. Right in, it was like 2020, right when this bull market or the last bull market started, what happened? They put a lawsuit on Ripple to keep people from seeing a coin called XRP blowing up to $3, $4, $5, $6, because then what would happen? People would FOMO into it. They wouldn't be buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. You can't pump those coins if everybody's buying this other coin, XRP, who's working with banks, and the price is blowing up 6, 7, 800%. And we're probably going to see the lawsuit wrap up at the end of this year or early next year, and that's going to be the catalyst for probably a big bull run for XRP. And if you don't want to take my word for it, go watch Blockchain Backer's newest video, and it is about XRP. He knows what he's talking about. And as an example of that, last fall when Bitcoin and Ethereum was going up, and it got it to like 60,000, and it had come back down to 50,000, and I wasn't for sure what to do with it. I was listening to people on the news and the media say that Bitcoin was going to go to $100,000. I wasn't for sure what to do with it. I thought about holding my Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I listened to Blockchain Backer. This is proof that you should listen to him, or at least consider what he says, because when Bitcoin was at 50,000 and everybody was saying that that Bitcoin was going to go on to 100, 300, 400,000. We saw that, and people were saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum would be going up to, or Bitcoin would be going to 300 or 400,000. I listened to Blockchain Backer and I sold at 50. And I'm glad that I did, because it worked out for me. I sold while everybody else was saying that he would go on to 100,000, and it didn't. And now he's telling you right now, he's telling you that XRP is setting up for a move up. He thinks the bottom is in. If you haven't heard of him, go subscribe to him and listen to what he says. At least give it consideration. And what I'm trying to get across today is the fact that there is a lack of time to get involved with these markets. Before too long, XRP is going to blow up. Before too long, we're going to be sitting here, and it'll be next year, and we'll be in the middle of a new financial system. Before too long, everybody who's got into this market will be rich. So I am buying. I'm not going to sit around and wait. I'm not going to, maybe Bitcoin might go down. They are purposefully telling you, they are purposefully manipulating by telling you at the lows that it's going to go lower, and then when it goes to the highs, they're telling you that it's going to go higher. They are manipulating. Know that you will miss the boat, and you will sit in indecision. Now, I want you to take a listen to what Dan Pena says here, and it is the truth.
Or hate him. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II. See, I know what he was going to do. I know what he's going to do now. And he hasn't even got started. Now, what are you going to tell your kids and your grandkids 25 years from now when they say, gee, Daddy, gee, Grandpa, what were you doing other than having your thumb up your big fucking ass during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world? What were you fucking doing? Fuck all, nothing. That's what most of you will tell them, your grandchildren and your children. It's never going to get any better than this, kids. This is as I said on YouTube, the eye of the perfect motherfucking storm. This is it. I never thought I'd live to see it again. This is going to make the 80s look like a nursery rhyme. And what are you going to tell your kids? Oh, I had to spreadsheet it. I had to think about it. I had to read another book on M&A, you fucking morons.
I know that you think he might be silly. He's got orange socks on, orange tie, and orange handkerchief hanging out of his jacket. But what he's telling you, and he tells you in such a way that he comes off like he's got contempt for you. That is because he does. He knows that the majority, 99.9% of the people in the world will sit around on their hands and wait, and they will sit in apathy, not taking action. He knows this. He does have contempt for you. He's got contempt for those who sit around in inaction and indecision. What he's telling you is that we're going to go through the biggest wealth transfer in the history of the world. What are you waiting for? And this guy ain't no clown. He is a billionaire. He knows what he's talking about. They're telling you what is coming, and you've got just to wake up and hear what they are saying. And if he doesn't convince you, what is it that Soren told us in Star Trek Generations? Time is the fire in which we burn, and that is the truth. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I like this movie, and I thought that would be something good to end on, to let you know that time is limited, and time is the fire in which we burn. I appreciate you sticking around. Please like and subscribe. Please comment in the comment section. Tell me what you like about this video, what you didn't like about this video. And until next time, take care.